be here. Thank you. 37, you know who else wore number 37 for the Red Sox? Bill Lee, Jimmy Pearsall, two of the goofiest guys that ever played big league ball. So I don't know. Hold on to your seats, I guess. But Colonel West, honored to be with you tonight. North Kingston and state dignitaries, Mayor Fung, my mayor. I'm a Cranston guy, and fellow patriots. It's a Lincoln Day celebration, and see if you can pick out the theme of my three favorite presidents. George Washington. He defeated tyranny from a British monarch in a very bloody war and earned freedom for a new country, our country, America. Abraham Lincoln, of course, defeated bigotry and secession from the South in yet another bloody war. But he earned freedom for slaves, reuniting our union. And Ronald Reagan. He defeated communism and the totalitarianism of the Soviet Union in the Cold War, maintaining freedom for our nation, but providing freedom to hundreds of millions of others in other countries. You kind of get that theme of freedom? And that's the name of our center, Rhode Island Center for Freedom and Prosperity. In fact, we think there's an inalienable link between freedom and prosperity, and thus our name. We're a think tank. We're part of a national network of free market think tanks. Some of them much older, 20, 30 years old, enormously influential in their states. In fact, one of the first functions I ever went to was in Oklahoma, and the governor, Mary Fallon, stepped up and said, I don't take a position on any policy issue until I talk to the Oklahoma Policy Institute. Because they've done the research, they put out the information. It's not an emotional decision, it's research. That's what we do. So as a think tank, we're a year and a half old. If I may, I'd like to recognize our chairman. He actually authorizes me to get a paycheck. So I need to authorize our chairman, Dr. Dan Harrop. But first, you may be wondering why a washed-up ball player is up here talking to you and ended up running a public policy think tank. Why is he speaking with you tonight? Well, I'll tell you why I'm not in baseball. My wife will understand this pretty well. I was a pretty obscure guy. I've got a ring right here from the '86 Red Sox, but it's not bad for sitting the bench. But still, they find you. Every week, I get letters in the mail like this. They send baseball cards and self-addressed stamp envelopes, and they ask you to sign them. And Wendy will tell you, I've got a stack of them. I haven't got to them in months. And they just keep, I don't know how they find me, but they do. But one day, a couple of years ago, I got a letter, and it didn't have any cards in it. It was a threefold letter like this. And I'm reading it, and it says, I hope this letter finds you well. My name is Al Pepper. I'm a baseball historian. I've done a lot of research. And based on my research, I rank you as the 32nd greatest player in the history of all time. I can't wait to open up the rest of the letter. The 32nd greatest in the history of all time who had a batting average below 200. This guy actually wrote a book on the best of the worst. And I was in it. 32nd. And here it is. It's called Mendoza's Heroes. 50 batters below 200 who were supposed to have better careers. In fact, he liked the way I edited he sent me the chapter to edit it, and he liked the way I wrote it so much, and, you're a Harvard guy too? Why don't you write the foreword to the book? So I wrote the foreword, and I'm actually published. And the first paragraph says it all. The only thing I find more astonishing than someone writing a book about 200 hitters is that I'm in a book about below 200. But anyway, that's how I got here. But where are we as a state? We have scores of problems, we know that adversely affect the lives of real people. I want you to imagine this scene. Picture the kitchen. Grandma over the stove, sauce spilling out the top, spoons clanking, table settings being placed, forks and knives clanking, bringing the food out, setting it on the table, ready for the big family feast. Grandpa's at one end, grandma at the other end, and they sit down, and there's no one else at the table, because everyone else has left the state. Their adult children have retired to a lower cost of living place. Their grandkids, graduates, have left looking for work in other states. That's our problem. Public policy in this state is tearing families apart. We got to do something about it.